Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. When you help someone, you want to make sure that that person that you help will do something productive with your help. Correct? Correct. You're not going to give someone, a helping hand or anything if that person will use your help in a negative way. Correct? Correct. Because you would be responsible for that. If you give someone money to eat and he's not going to eat, he's going to use drugs, you're not going to give that person money again. Or if you give someone money again to help with his children and he uses it to go and do something bad to other people, you won't do that again. Correct? Now, this is what we do in Ukraine. We, I think, help the guys in charge of Ukraine to conduct some hanky-panky activities that would not make us proud of our help. How much did we help without being asked to agree with our help? I will show you. That's the first topic. The second one, when Trump was selected, remember the elections? When he was selected, I made a video and I said, Trump seems to be very mild. The media is not attacking him remotely close to how he was attacked in 2020 or in 2016. Those campaigns, not at all. And he is very unfeisty. So for me, it was a big question mark or big question mark. Why? It ain't like him. So I suspect and wait on his policies to be very mild, which is, I stated in that particular video, he will definitely upgrade and escalate the help for Israel in the Middle East 100%. Yes, sir. And in Ukraine is 50-50. It depends what the Pentagon wants. I'm going to show you what he says about Ukraine. He wants to continue helping Ukraine with weapons. Why? Because of the military-industrial complex and the three pillars of our, owners, which are three interests. The banking system, the military-industrial complex, and the energy sector. Big Pharma comes in the fourth place, but somewhere a little bit lower. And then I will show you a video, I will report this, where the ballsy prime minister of that country called Slovakia accuses Z-stein of bribery. He said, Fico said, Zelensky tried to bribe me with Russian money. I'm going to dive into that in a second. And the last topic, what Putin says, not necessarily true, but what he says, I know will confirm what I said for so long. The chicken come back to roost or something? That's exactly what happens with the weapons we provide to the Ukrainians and whomever. They will come and hit us when they start disliking any of our policies. And you know who's going to be hit? Not the guys who made the decision, you and I, the commoners, the plebeians. All right, let's start with the first one. Here it is. Russia Today. This is from the 20th of December 2024. West has pumped over $300 billion into Ukraine, according to the Prime Minister of the great country of Hungary. $300 billion. Okay. My advice, whenever you are told by your employer, by your boss, whomever, that they don't have any money for the, cookout for this summer, or the, barbecue in the park, because, let's say you work for the government and they say we don't have money, think about that. And I will show you how much Blinken in our name gives to his Zelensky in our name. All right, so remember, when they tell you they can't give you that 0.25% raise this year that they promised, and the unions are, oh man, we're gonna give you 0.25%. It's better than nothing. No, I want 10%. Fuck off. That's how I spoke with the union, and the union was like, fucking cunt. I'm sorry. Anyway, West has pumped over 300 billion. The money spent to fund the war could have done wonders in the EU, the Hungarian Prime Minister has argued. Correct. They say, well, it's for a good cause. Well, I'm not sure it's for a good cause. The US and the EU have provided over $300 billion in financial aid that money and military assistance to Kiev since the escalation of such a huge amount of money, and I'm quoting, could have done wonders. Orban highlighted the evolving military situation, noting that the balance of power on the front lines is shifting day by day. All right, let's go to the next one. This is according to Blinken, our foreign minister, who gets us in wars or not with whomever his guys are telling him. US has spent $100 billion on Ukraine, Blinken says. The bulk of the money was allocated to the American defense industry, one of the three pillars. Remember, the Secretary of State has said, why would this guy's defense industry, why would they want peace? Well, they are investing in our defense because our defense department is called Defense Department, not Offense Department, not overthrowing government, not bombing Yugoslavia, Libya, Iraq, Afghanistan. No. We are defending ourselves from all those guys who attack us. But hey, we are the strongest. We punch by far. We punch everybody else, but everybody picks on us. They all want a bloody nose from us. I don't know why. This is the logic you're supposed to, just like that. All right, let's move on. Washington has provided around $100 billion in financial aid and military assistance to Kiev. And I'm quoting, who's we've? This piece of stein right there. We've spent a lot of money on Ukraine and defending Ukraine. I told you, defending is the word. About 100 billion. If it's about 120, it's fine. If it's 92 billion, it's billions. When they say about, they're talking in billions. When you go at a store and let's say you want to buy a pair of shoes, and then let's say $150, and you say, well, I'm going to give you about $100. Do you think the guy will say, give me about $100? No, it's $150, $149.99. That's how it is. We've spent your money about $100 billion. Don't you think that guy should know the exact number? No. All right, spent about 150, I wasn't asked, billion doing that. All right, and he says, Blinken represents the best, that's what he said, according to Blinken, the best example of burden sharing. No, by whom? By my children and my grandchildren and so on. Most of that was spent here in the United States, in our own defense industrial base, manufacturing weapons, bombs, building stuff that that the Ukrainians need to defend themselves. Good American jobs have been a result of that, Blinken said. Okay, you got that? My friends, this is a garbage. This is like people say, this is money laundering. It's not money laundering. It's illegal. Okay? So we've spent about $100 billion. Now I'm going to give you your yearly income about that. No, mother, I want the exact sum. But that's not his money, so why would he care? He can be generous. After all, his brother is fighting in Ukraine, right? For our freedoms. Because that's what they are. They sacrifice for us. They're always more moral and ethical than you. Hollywood tells you that all the time. When you find them, they're all pious and... All right, let's see what the fuck Trump says. Ukraine forum. Yeah. Power to the people. Good job. Trump plans to continue supplying Ukraine with U.S. weapons after inauguration, according to Financial Times. Okay, well, good. He's going to continue. Are you surprised? I'm not whatsoever. Why? Because I always remember the last drop that confirmed my understanding of the world dynamics, especially not just of America. And that was when Putin was interviewed by two jackals from a media operative, some friends. I can't remember the name of the, but anyway, some friends of mine sent me that link. If you remember, I begged for it. Anyway, so when he said, well, the situation in America, yeah, they get elected, but when they get elected, they get into office, and you have two people dressed nicely in black suits with ties and some shades, and they tell the president how things are ran. Trump, the same way, I think. He signed, not, okay, give me the paper. He knows, he signed something. They know he's approved. That's why I say Trump was selected because he said, I'm going to, okay? And then he was put in front of us to elect him using their voting machines. So we confirmed the system. The system works, man. All right, more money and more from you. Why? We have to win in Ukraine. I mean, after all, we have to push our values on everybody else. Why? Because our values are the best. That's what these guys are saying. Anyway, let's see how Fico accuses Zelenskyy of bribery. Ukraińska Pravda. Slovak Prime Minister accuses Zelenskyy of attempted bribery, according to Politico. Now, this is a big accusation, don't you think? Slovak Prime Minister Robert Fico has claimed that Ukrainian, because he's Ukrainian, President Volodymyr Zelenskyy has allegedly offered him 500 million euros bribe from Russian assets in exchange for supporting Ukraine's NATO membership. Is it true? I don't know. We're going to find out, right? Fico claims that they discussed Slovakia's financial losses due to the halt of Russian gas transit during a meeting with Zelenskyy at the European Union summit. And I'm quoting, Fico said that after he told Zelenskyy that Slovakia could lose about 500 million euros in gas transit fees a year, the Ukrainian president, and I'm quoting, asked me if I would then vote for NATO membership if he gave me 500 million euros of Russian assets. And of course I said never. So the Ukrainian president has the power to give 500 million euros like that? Now, that's 500 million. That's half of $1 billion of a dollar. All right? So that's $500 million. I'm going to give you, man. I'm going to make it happen. Whose money is that? The Russians? Stolen by whom? Okay, by the West. I got that one. So if he's got 500, think about the money, goddammit, after tax, with a tax that would be 1 billion before, because it's like almost 50 if you go that high or even more. The taxable. That's why when some people say, how much money do you need? I need about $40 million after tax, not before tax. I'm going to end up with what, fucking 20 million? Pfft, you can take that. That's peanuts. Okay, I have high expectations. Yes, I'm greedy. All right, let's move on here. So here we have 500 million. So can you imagine how much money this guy can decide to give others? I don't know if it's just that idea. Think about it. And we are demonstrably facing a gas crisis thanks to President Zelenskyy, Fico stated during a press conference before the summit, though he did not clarify his remarks further. Yeah, he said, this is a blackmail. I'm going to turn off, Zelenskyy, the transit from Russia to your people in Slovakia. You have to support me. Do you think these guys are not like mobsters? The mobsters are children compared, because these are countries. These are pimps. I told you, the guys in charge of our countries, look at them as pimps in a pimping bazaar where they meet. United Nations or G7, G20, Brussels, they meet together as the pimps. And then they start what they do in the bazaar, okay? Negotiating with a pimp has to have an employee. Let's put it like, who's an employee? You and I, who form a nation. So our nations are the pimp's employee. Slash lady of the night. And then who's the customer? The customers are, for instance, the 3 pillars I told you. Those are the customers. The economic, financial interests. They come and talk with our pimps, and our pimps will sell us to them. They've been doing this forever. Plus the mass media, who comes as a therapist, as a counselor. That's all. They're counselors. They provide therapy to us to understand why we don't pay more taxes, and we should, and how we are bad. We should just follow orders, keep our mouth shut, pay our taxes, and be a good, happy consumer. Those are the counselors. No, those counselors, therapists, psychologists, psychiatrists. This is a euphemism. YouTube imbeciles. This is an euphemism. You know what it is? All right, making a notion a little bit milder. So you say, you die. No, you didn't die. You're just gonna pass away. Oh, I just pass away. I feel better. Oh, my balls. Okay, they're good. My God. All right, let's go to this article right here from Russia Today. EU states Prime Minister accuses Zelenskyy of trying to bribe him. Slovakian Prime Minister said he will never accept money from Kiev. All right, so it says this. Fico made the revelation at a press conference in Brussels on Thursday, shortly after his behind-the-closed-doors meeting with Zelensky on the sidelines of the EU Leaders Summit. So, Fico claimed that, among other things, Zelensky asked me, I'm quoting, if I would vote for NATO membership of Ukraine if he gave me 500 million euros from Russian assets frozen in the West after the outbreak. You know my opinion on Ukraine membership in NATO, and it is strange that he asked me such a question because he knows very well that Ukraine's invitation to NATO is completely unrealistic. And what do you think, my friends? Do you think it's possible? I think it's possible. Do you think it's probable? I give it 99% probable. I think Fico tells the truth. Why? Because I know the big liar lies. Did Fico ever lie? Yeah, he did. Did I catch him with a lie? Not yet. What about the weasel? Yeah, many times. Okay, so here we have Fico. Why? Don't think about Fico as a guy. Think of the Slovakian people, or Slovak, how you want to call him. Think about them, their country. Why? Because you have a Ukrainian who's gonna your gas and you have to pay 3 to 4 times more on American liquefied natural gas. Or maybe, I don't know, go in the woods, cut some wood and have fire like that. All right, let's go to the last topic. And this is the chicken come back to roost. You know that song, The Doors, Little Red Rooster? Listen to it. Ukrainian gas saboteurs arrested in Slovakia, according to Putin. According to Russian intelligence cited by the president, 2 men had maps related to gas infrastructure of the EU country. Ukrainian President Vladimir has said that had been apprehended in Slovakia. By whom? By the Slovaks or by the Russians? In possession of maps outlining the country's gas infrastructure. He cited Russian intelligence services and did not provide details. Slovakia has yet to confirm the arrest. And I'm quoting. They feed from Europe's hand and try to carry out terrorist attacks there. There is their choice, but ours is to focus on cooperation. My point is this. I predicted this, and you'll see. Drones, javelins, and others provided to us, by us, to some people over there, ended up in some bad guys. Zelensky can give $500 million just like this, euros, I'm sorry, just like this. From whom? From the Russians. So he can do a lot of things. A lot of things, it seems like. So if tomorrow, let's say Orban says something very bad, I don't know, maybe these guys are going to pull a Fico on him. Or maybe going to try to put a Gaddafi on him, like the Americans did. Oh, it was an uprising. Please, my friends. All right, here is, my friends. Be careful. The war will keep going. The profiteers are making a kill over there. I think Fico was told that. I have a gut feeling. And remember, when your boss tells you that he doesn't have money to give you a raise, remember, these guys give hundreds of billions of dollars to a country, to other people that can do with 500 million euros. Just, I'm going to give you some. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.